What's going on, beautiful and amazing people? Welcome back. Doc Genzo here with another duel video. Today we got from a local box tournament, actually, TOONS versus GREN Maju dash KAIJUs, or as I like to call it, GREN KAIJU. Let's go ahead and get into it. First, we're going to activate a toon table of contents, letting us add a toon card from the deck to the hand. Now notice it's not once per turn, so we're going to go ahead and deck thin a little bit by getting 3 toon table of contents, activating them all in sequence since he doesn't have a response, and then activating a toon bookmark, which lets you add a toon world or a card that specifically lists toon world, then also protects toon world from the graveyard, which is a very nice card the toons got. I noticed recently that toons definitely went up in value. That's very interesting to see. I wonder why that's the case. Maybe they're just a cool deck. That is going to be me on the left side playing toons. On the right, we got the GREN KAIJU player. So, yours truly is in this video. So, let's see what happens here. We got a Toon Kingdom being activated. Well, I won't kid you. I'll make some misplays every now and then. But, yeah. Sometimes you forget what deck you're playing. So, we're going to normal summon a Toon Gemini Elf, set 2, and then pass the turn. Looks like he's going to figure out what he wants to do. Now, at this point in the game, did not know what I was playing against, so if I knew what I was playing against, I would not be showing you the nice artwork there, I suppose. I would not be summoning any monsters. Activating a trade-in with a Danger Thunderbird, which is very interesting. Draw 2, and then Thunderbird's also going to get a pop. As you can see, there's the effect of Thunderbird on the screen right there. Letting him draw 2 cards, and then Thunderbird's going to trigger, destroying that set back row. He gets lucky, hitting an infinite impermanence. And then tributing off the Toon Gemini Elf with a Godarla, the Mystery Dust Kaiju. Kaijus do not target, and they do not destroy, so helps get around Toon Kingdom as an Alpha is summoned. Nice effects there, and then a Fairy Tale Luna being summoned. This is a very interesting build, folks, and I definitely like this guy's strategy with the deck itself. Granted, didn't really see a lot of GREN Majus in this game, so you're going to be seeing a lot more Kaijus than that. Kind of makes me want to build a pure Kaiju deck with Kyoto Waterfront. As Kyoto Waterfront is actually kind of an underrated card. It's a very good field spell. Then using the effect of Luna now to bounce, targeting my monster unless I send one with the same type, which toons do not have an insect just yet. No toon insect queen, shall we say. So those are going to go back to hand. Then it looks like Alpha is going to swing, maybe. Yep, looks like Alpha's going to swing for 3,000. But Toon Page Flip is going to be activated in response. Card says if you control Toon World, reveal 3 Toon monsters with different names from your deck. The opponent randomly chooses one. It gets special summon, ignoring summoning conditions, which is very nice. So there's a lot of good toons out there, folks, like this Toon BLS here, which also went up in price quite crazily. Toon Dark Magician, the best toon in my opinion, and then Red Eyes Toon Dragon. I should probably put a Toon Blue Eyes back in the deck. I actually cut it for some stuff, but maybe I should put it back in, just to have that extra level 8 slot. Special summoning the Toon Dark Magician now, and then banishing one off the top, because the attack's still going through off Alpha, and we just don't want that Toon Dark Magician being destroyed. Then it looks like it's going to get tributed for a Godarla once again. Kaijus are super, super fun, folks. Can't really knock it too much, though, as a it's a good out to Dragoon as a draw for turn. Activating a Comic Hand. Basically snatch stealing the Alpha, making it a Toon monster. We're going to go to battle and swing for 5,700. Looks like we're going to pass the turn after that. Setting one card and then passing the turn. Comic Hand, very good card as well. Let's see what he's got for us here, folks. As he normal summons a Fairy Tale Luna once again, trying to get the effect to add a monster who's attacking his own defense from his deck to his hand. I believe Spellcaster locked as well. Activating a Solemn Judgment to negate the summon. We don't want him bouncing any of that fun stuff back to his hand on our board. Passing the turn on that note, swinging for game, and we're going to go to game 2 now, folks. Alright, here we are in game 2. As the other guy's playing Kaijus, it looks like I'm going to get the first turn here. Activating a Pot of Extravagance. I believe for 6. Let's see what we hit here. The magic of Bruce Lee in those sleeves, folks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Doesn't look like the best choices ever given, but we'll see how it goes, as we're going to add a tune table of contents. And then just repeat the same thing that we did before from game 1. Just activate tune table, tune table, tune table, tune bookmark. Just going through the motions here. Adding a Toon Kingdom to hand. One of the best Toon cards. I actually ended up cutting Toon World from this build as well, just because I had a first edition super that I was trying to run, but just wanted to put more floodgates in the deck, as you don't really summon a lot in this deck, and also there are definitely a bunch of floodgate traps that work well with this. Also realized in this tournament that this deck doesn't really care too much about Dragoon due to Toon Kingdom, also as well as the fact that they can basically get past Dragoon by just attacking directly. Setting a card, which is strange. Thinking about what to activate here. Going to activate the Toon Kingdom right off the bat. Banishing 3 off the top in order to activate it. Looks like he hit a Comic Hand or two there, folks. Unfortunate. Looking in the extra deck, seeing what we can do here. And it looks like we're just going to pass the turn, folks. Don't give him any monsters to use against us here. Activating another trade-in. Pitching off an Alpha to draw 2. Interesting pitch there. Alpha is a very good card. Normal summoning a Fairy Tale Luna. Tempting to use the effect, and that's going to get impermed. Activating Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, basically dark holing the board. And if he does dark hole the board, special summoning 2 Kaijus to either side of the field, and then they fight. Or they have to attack this turn, rather. Very good card, folks. It's definitely gone up in price as well. A lot of rogue cards have definitely been going up in price recently. It's nice to see that for sure. And also Synchro Storm is technically out at OTS stores, so in the comments, why don't you let me know if you got any good pulls. Now we got a Gamma Seal and a Dogoron on the field. Let me know what you got any good pulls. I bought 4 packs myself and got a Necrosynchron and the new kind of level 2 living fossil. I guess you could call it. It's like Fluid or something. Not the level 10 Synchro, although I wish I got that. Especially as an Infernoble player, but you know. Trying to special summon a Gamma Seal since I control Kaiju, but realizing that you can only control 1 Kaiju, so that's going to go back to his hand. Kaijus aren't that crazy busted there, folks. Interrupted Kaiju Slumber also lets him banish it from the grave to search, which is very nice. As you can see, he's got a Super Poly in the hand as well. Wonder if we'll see that later this game. A lot of good options here, but it's all contingent on the opponent controlling a monster. Granted, the Interrupted Kaiju Slumber helps alleviate that situation, as I now control a monster. Dogron's going to swing over the Gamma Seal for 800 damage. And since I did not Comic Hand it, it is not a Toon, therefore it cannot be protected by Toon Kingdom. That's another funny thing about Comic Hand, it turns it into a Toon monster, so you can protect it with a Kingdom's effect. Drawing for turn, drawing into another Kingdom. Ugh, just the bricks are here, folks. It's a big brick house. I'm not too ecstatic about that. Figuring out what to go into here. Realizing if I go into any floodgate monsters like Baguska, he'll just tribute them off, so best to find another way here. Is with these kinds of players, you always gotta assume they got a kaiju in the hand. Especially now that Jizukiru got that reprint in Cyber Strike. Very nice deck as well. It's very fun. Very fragile though combo. Toon Mermaid being summoned. Special summon. This is also a very good rank 4 deck here, folks. Just in general, Toons being able to special summon themselves with Toon Harpy Lady and Toon Mermaid just being great. I definitely want to get higher rarities for everything. Bling it out, because Toons are just such a fun deck to have. Going into a Utopia, and then going into a Utopia the Lightning. Double or Nothing is not running this build quite yet. So it looks like Lightning's going to swing into the good Dogron, and he's going to take 2,000 as the Lightning becomes 5k off its own effect. He's got a GREN MAJU in the hand, folks, but choosing not to summon it. Very interesting. Contemplating going into Zeus, but realizing that it can't be used as Xyz material. But at the same time, Zeus will just get tributed off anyway, so why even bother? Just passing the turn. Drawing for turn on his end. Looks like he drew a Godarla there. And it looks like Gamma Seal is going to be tribute summoned by tributing off the Utopia of the Lightning. Special summoning a Godarla from the hand. Let's see if the inevitable happens here, folks. Will Godarla run over the Gamma Seal? Or Gamma Seal, however you want to pronounce it. Looks like Godarla is going to swing over the Gamma Seal for 500 damage. So I'm going to banish Interrupted Kaiju Slumber now to search for any Kaiju card. Adding another Gamma Seal to hand. Nice secret rare as well. Very shiny. Looks like Toons are going to draw for turn here. Let's see what we got. Looks like we drew a Toon Mass Sorcerer. And that's going to get normal summoned. Toon Mass Sorcerer, very weak card. Probably should take it out of the deck myself, but that draw is very nice. But if you're playing Prosperity, kind of is redundant a little bit. Godarla is going to swing over the Toon Mass Sorcerer. And Toon Kingdom is going to protect it, but the damage still goes through. Toons also cannot attack the turn they're summoned, unfortunately. Well, some of them, not all of them. Drawing for turn there. Looks like we drew an IDP, which is a very nice draw. Toon Mass Sorcerer is going to swing for 900 directly, since it is a Toon monster. And then drawing off the Toon Mass Sorcerer, drawing a Pot of Prosperity. Very ironic there, shall we say. Showing it to the opponent, just cannot believe what the draw was there. Both of us here being 1-2 at the tournament. Toons couldn't quite keep up with some of the decks there, but some of the others were able to be kept up with. Normal summoning a Fairy Tale Luna, seeing if there's anything to activate in response. because her effect to bounce back to hand from both sides of the field is a quick effect. Gotta remember that, folks. Activating the IDP in response to the summon. By summoning the Luna from his graveyard to banish both from either board. Helps to stop its effect to bounce after he summons another kaiju, which I might not have a monster who shares a type with, although if it's Gamma Seal, then Toon Mermaid, I believe, does share a type. It is an Aqua, I believe. Banishing both the Lunas, but he does still get a search, as IDP does not negate. Much like MST. Adding another Fairy Tale Luna to hand, as it can add itself, which is very interesting. So we're going to have to decide what we want to do here, folks. Ghidorah's going to swing over the Mass Sorcerer again for another 18, but Toon Kingdom's going to protect the Mass Sorcerer, and let's just see if we can't get some good draws here, try to pull this out. Drawing for turn. Drawing another Pot of Prosperity. Golly. Activating a Pot of Prosperity, banishing 6, it looks like. Try and get something that we can use here. Our top decks have not been that great. Toon Bookmark, Toon Dark Magician Girl. Got some interesting stuff, but nothing too crazy. Adding a Toon Bookmark to hand. Activating the Toon Bookmark, going to grab a comic hand. Or maybe something else. Thinking about maybe a Toon Page Flip. But deciding against it and grabbing the comic hand instead. Activating comic hand to take the Ghidorah. Comic hand, very good card there, folks. Dropping the cards like a schmuck. That's never a good time, folks. Putting the Toon Mass Sorcerer in defense mode, and then swinging for half of 27 with Ghidorah. 1350. As Pot of Prosperity says, he takes half for the rest of the turn, and you cannot draw card effects. Or cannot draw cards, except at the draw phase, for the rest of the turn if you activate a Prosperity. Let's see what happens here. Looks like he's thinking about what to do next here, as the Ghidorah is treated as a Toon monster, so it is protected by the effects of Toon Kingdom, and can also attack directly. Still thinking about the next best possible play here. Notice he's got a nice Judge 2014 mat, very Castlevania, with Crimson Vampire Knight Bram and whoever the Vampire Hunter, I believe, whoever Simon Belmont is. Restarting the recording there a little bit just to make sure. as Gamma Seal is normal summoned, or special summoned, as if your opponent controls a kaiju, you can summon it from the hand. Normal summoning a Necroface, very interesting play here. Shuffling all banished cards back into the owner's decks, and it gains 100 attack for each card sent back to the main deck. It's been errated, folks. It's not just every card sent back to the deck, it's every card sent back to the main deck in particular. Which I have a lot of cards banished, but I only have 5 from the main deck going back. So it looks like that Necroface isn't quite as big as he wanted it to be. Again, he had a GREN Maju in the hand, folks. Don't know why he didn't summon that, but we'll see. Maybe just because of the fact that the Toons can ignore how big it is and just stack directly. It's very nice in this day and age of just going into big monsters and sitting on them sometimes. Access codes, all that good stuff. Activating a super polymerization now. Discarding for cost. To fuse his Necroface and my 2-mass Sorcerer. Go into Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. He discarded a Danger Bigfoot off the Super Poly, so Danger Bigfoot's now going to go off. Trying to blow up the Toon Kingdom, and Toon Bookmark's going to say no to that. Very fun deck, Toons. I very much like the artwork. I hope they make a lot more support for it in the future. Just thinking about what's going to happen next here. As Starving Venom swings over the Gamma Seal, or the Godarla, sorry, for 100 damage, and Toon Kingdom's going to protect it. Drawing for turn. Looks like we drew another IDP. Now Necroface actually helps out here as it lets me activate another Pot of Extravagance. Banishing 6 to excavate 6. And it's one of the worst 6 I've ever seen. No Toon Page Flip, no Toon Bookmark, nothing, folks. So I'm gonna grab a Toon Gemini Elf. Interesting choice. Putting the Godarla in defense mode now. Setting another card and then setting another one and passing the turn. And this is where I forgot that I was actually playing Toons here, folks, and that they could just attack directly. They don't care. But trying to play it smart, not knowing what he has in the hand. Thinking about his next possible players, he normal summons a Fairy Tale Luna. Attempting to get the effect. Looks like the effect's good, and Fairy Tale Luna is going to get added to hand off its own effect. Let's see what else can happen here, folks. Very interesting game. GREN Kaiju and Toons. Activating a Gizmek Orochi in the hand. Very interesting. I believe it does banish for the GREN Maju effect, so to buff it up even more, so yes, there's that. So Gizmek Orochi is going to be summoned. You can see there he is in all his glory. And it looks like you're going to overlay the Orochi and the Gamma Seal into a Din Girsu, the Orcus of the Evening Star. Very nice play, very nice play. Now it looks like he's going to get to send a card from my field to the graveyard. It does not destroy. So he's going to send the Toon Kingdom. The bookmark can't protect it from that, and we're going to go to game 3. As the comic candle also blow up. Alright folks, here we are in game 3. Toons are going to start us off first again. Activating a Toon bookmark. Grabbing a Toon page flip. Says all you need to know about what's in my hand. Activating a Toon Kingdom, banishing 3 off the top. And then looks like we're going to set 4 here, folks, and pass the turn. Very good start from Toons over here. Very good start. Activating a Pot of Desires on his end, banishing 10 to draw 2. Not my cup of tea. I think the card's fairly bad, but in some decks it works. Like this one, it definitely works because you're banishing for GREN Maju. Granted, if you banish all your GREN Majus, then well, it looks like you're just out of luck. Knew a guy who banished 2 of his Rays off of Desires, and then I called by the grave his 3rd one, his Sky Striker Ray, and well, just wasn't having a good time after that. But speaking of Kaijus and Sky Strikers, they're getting a new Kaiju searchable off Engage as well. Not bad. Not bad at all. Normal summoning a Necroface, putting everything back into the main deck. But that's going to get Solemn Warninged, negating the summon and destroying it. Making sure there's no glare on the cards here, as this camera is kind of bad about the glare sometimes. There was a bit of glare at the game 1, I believe, in some of the back row, but just let that slide. Looks like no spells or traps in the hand. Looks like just all monsters here. So let's see what we can do. Activating Danger Thunderbird in the hand. Discarding a card at random. If it's not Danger Thunderbird, he's going to get to special it. And it looks like the Thunderbird is getting hit. When it's discarded, he can pop a set card. Popping that one. Hitting the Imperm once again. He is locked onto that Imperm, folks. Popping it every time. Now it looks like he's going to be activating the Danger Bigfoot in his hand. Looks like going to hit a Gizmet Makami, the ferocious Fanged Fortress. Then Bigfoot's going to special himself. I'm going to draw a card as well. Summon limit's going to be chained to the summon. Making sure that that's going to be his last summon for the turn here, folks. As it does count summons before it is activated. Looks like Bigfoot's going to attempt to swing for 3k, and then Page Flip's going to be activated. Getting the same 3 from last time. Toon Dark Magician, Toon BLS, and Red Ice Toon Dragon. Hitting the Toon BLS this time. Gosh, look at that artwork. Look at that face. Trying to see if he can't summon the Godarla to my side of the board, but summon limit says no, so. And looks like he's just going to pass the turn on that note. Now to think about his next play. And it looks like going to pass turn. Drawing for turn, thinking about what the appropriate thing to do here would be. Either destroy by battle or banish it with Toon BLS. Or just attack directly, even. Could also do that. Looks like Toon BLS is going to banish the Bigfoot, denying him resources in case he wants to go into another rank 8 there, folks. Sending 1 and then passing the turn. Going into Super Poly, it looks like. Very interesting, folks. Sorry about the noise in the background there. Looks like someone's decided to rev up their engine, shall we say. Say Dino Wrestler Pankratops is summoned. Very interesting that, yes, just overall good card there, folks. As Dino Wrestler Pankratops activates this effect, attributing itself to pop the summon limit. Solemn Judgment activated, but realizing that you cannot negate monster effects with Solemn Judgment. So, summon limit will be destroyed. Next up, Godarla is going to be summoned, tributing off the Toon BLS. These kaijus are very annoying, folks, as Alpha is summoned. Then that's going to get Solemn Judgmented. As that is an inherent summon, it's not an activated effect in the hand. If it's an activated in the hand effect to summon itself, well then you're just out of luck, as Gizmet Makami, the first Feigned Fortress, is normal summoned without tributing, due to its effect if your opponent controls a monster and you don't. Now that's going to let him add a monster with the same attack and defense from his deck to his hand, Gizmet Orochi. And also he can put 6 of his banished cards back into his deck once that's sent to the graveyard. I think they might be having a street race outside, folks. I'm not quite sure. Guy apparently can't leave the parking lot. There we go. Nice and quiet now. Back to the duel. Enough of the Fast and Furious. Back to the duel. Setting 1 card, and it looks like we're going to pass the turn there, folks. Can't really do much else. As Gizmet Makami is not strong enough to kill Godarla in battle. Drawing for turn there. Setting 1 card and then swinging with Godarla over the Gizmet Makami for 550 damage. And then looks like he's going to put 6 back into his deck. And he can look at them, and it's not random. Let's see what else he's got in the bag here, folks. You never quite know. Just seeing about life points, all that kind of stuff. Drawing for turn. Looks like he drew something not that great. Just passing the turn there and then drawing for turn on my end. Normal summoning a 2-mass sorcerer, 27 directly with Gadarla. For 4750 life points remaining on that side of the board. Let's see what will happen. Activating an interrupted Kaiju Slumber off the top deck. Very nice top deck. Seeing if there's any response. No, just me being bad at math, it seems, talking about the attack from last turn. The 50s throw me off sometimes, folks. Sometimes I'm just not the sharpest tool in the shed, according to Smash Mouth. Alright, looks like we're going to protect the 2-mass sorcerer from the interrupted Kaiju Slumber, destroying it. And then since a monster was destroyed, he's able to special summon 2 Kaijus from the deck, one on either side of the field, and they must attack if able. So special summoning a Dogron and a Gamma Seal. A lot of back and forth this match here, folks. Hope you're enjoying it. Kaiju is still very powerful this format. Then looks like Gamma Seal is going to be swung over by the Dogoron for 800 damage. Interesting they did not choose the Mass Sorcerer. Activating a Toon Table of Contents. Seeing how many comic hands got banished. This comic hand seems to be a saving grace this matchup. Funny thing was, I was thinking about cutting comic hand down to 2. 2 got banished. Activating a Toon Bookmark after activating the Toon Tables. Grabbing a comic hand. Activating it, taking the Dogoron. It is now a Toon Dogoron. And entering battle phase, swinging for 3,900 directly. For 850. 2 Mass Sorcerer is going to let us draw a card off the top once it does damage. Then it'll pass the turn. Another Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, it looks like. Activating it, attempting to blow up all monsters on the board. And Toon Kingdom is going to protect both of them, as Dogron is now tuned due to Comic Hand. Thereby the effect of interrupt the Kaiju Slumber fizzles, apparently. I did not quite know this at the time. That's why I'm reading it. Apparently you have to destroy the monster in order to get the 2 specials. Did not know that. Explaining it to me. And it looks like that'll be game. Toons take the match.